Okay, I'm going to discuss the chart of today, and I'm going to run through a few things briefly, and then we're going to look at, we've got a full moon coming up on the 3rd of August, and the other thing that's going on is that we've got Uranus will be going retrograde on the 14th of August. So I'm just going to show you a couple of things that are going on. This is the current chart right now, and this is at the 29th of August 2020. And what we have is the moon is currently in the sign of Sagittarius up here. And we've got our stellium, little baby stellium up here, if you call it a stellium, but it's not really a stellium, but it's the conjunction of the Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter in Capricorn. And they are all retrograde. And in the coming months, they will come out of retrograde, which is good news for all of us. And we'll be able to start moving forward again in some areas of our life. We do have currently the square Jupiter to Mars, and this is Mars is in Aries, so we've got to really learn how to ground ourselves over the coming months, because it's going to be in Aries for the next 6 months, up until the first week of January 2021. So wherever this is happening for you, I will show you my own chart briefly, but wherever this is happening for you, it really is a time where you can really take stock and begin to solve some of your life problems, because with Mars, it is a bit like, it helps us to evolve. It's our direction in life, and it's also our subjective experience, and it's our reactions and our impulsivity as well. So we can look at it from all angles and help ourselves to not get stuck in a rut and to use it in a positive way. Collectively, this is going to probably, because a lot of people aren't aware of astrology. So because the whole point of astrology is to become aware of our interactions with others and ourselves, and to look at our life journey and to use it as a tool for our own evolution. And many people, as we know in life, don't really objectify or question themselves. So this is a tool to objectify, to move forward, and to utilize life to the fullest that we can, and also to understand the tension and the hard moments, which are the squares. It's where we have tension and we evolve and we grow. And then the oppositions, it's what's going on outside ourselves. We're trying to solve something. And then we've got the trines, which are our gifts, and how we can use that to the best of our knowledge as well. And then we've got sextiles and semi-sextiles, and this inside here is the way the planets speak to each other. These are called aspects. And so we've got Pluto, birth, death, transformation. We've got Jupiter, which is truth, learning, higher education, spirituality, the realm beyond this realm. It's the bigger picture. And then Saturn, which is to do with our restriction. So we can see that, with these planets all together and the square to Mars, we're all trying to figure something out. And it's not an easy time with all of this COVID thing that's been going on and all of the restrictions that we've got. None of us quite know where we're going. Some people are going to get through this easier than others, but we're all feeling vulnerable as well. Not all of us. Some people are not feeling vulnerable, but many people are living in fear because that, am I going to get COVID? Am I going to be safe? I did have it for 37 days. So, I don't know if it can be caught again, but I understand how it sort of worked for me and what it meant to me. And it took away a lot of my fears, and it gave me some direction as well in my life. It allowed me to understand my own vulnerability and allowing myself to be vulnerable with others. And when we're vulnerable with others, it doesn't mean we're always going to get our needs met, but it gives having the capability to be vulnerable and being able to confront situations. It means that we are really being more of our true authentic self. So there's a lot of beauty in hardship as well, and squares. I have to say that with my own chart and my own life as well. So I want to now go to the 3rd. I'm going to go ahead with this chart, and I'm going to go by days. First of all, we're going to go to, you can see up here where I'm going 1st of August, 2nd of August, 3rd of August. And what we want on the degrees are 11, just going into 12 degrees. So I'm just going to play with this slightly here. and we're going to go to hours, and I'm going to go back because I want that moon to be at 11 degrees. Here you go, 11:38. So let's go minutes now and go forward because we want it 11. We want it exactly the same as the sun. So we want 11, 44, 45, 45. There you go. So this is our full moon, okay? This is what we're having coming up, and it's going to be in Aquarius. So the point to know, this is just very general, you know, don't take it as being the only thing that this full moon means, but it's about our relationship with our emotions, and that might be complicated for us because the moon in Aquarius has a strong need for emotional freedom. So the moon in Aquarius has a strong need for emotional freedom. So if you were born with the moon in Aquarius, you do have the need for emotional freedom naturally. But this is a full moon, and so it's affecting the collective. However, when we are in a group of people, it is easier for us to understand our feelings and free ourselves from the negative emotions such as fear, anger, and jealousy and such like. So it looks like, you know, this is about the groups of people as well. And clearly, as humanity, we're one big group of, you know, all of us together. We're all connected. So with this, we're going to be looking at the moon on that day. I'm just going to run through a few of the aspects. So the sun, what happens is full moon is in opposition exact to the moon. And then the sun is trining Mars. So if you look at the sun here, it's going to be trine to Mars. Then we've got the sun will square Uranus. So the sun is going to be square to Uranus here. So that's a 90-degree angle. And then we've got the moon is going to also be squaring Uranus. So you can see the moon up here is squaring Uranus on that day. Mercury is opposition to Saturn. Mercury is in opposition to Pluto. And you can see that Mercury is opposition to Pluto and Saturn there. Then we've got Venus, which is an inconjunct to Saturn. So Venus here, inconjunct to Saturn. And then Venus will square Neptune. It's quite good to look at. So Venus here, square to Neptune. Here, you can see Neptune up there. We've got Mars square Jupiter. So Mars squaring Jupiter up here. We've got Mars squaring Pluto. And, you know, there's other things going on. But overall, we've also got the nodes. If we look at our life path at the moment, we've got the North Node is going to be conjunct to Venus, which is here. And then we've got the North Node is square to Neptune. So we might be a bit disillusioned here. There may be some disillusionment going on with the North Node squaring Neptune going on up here. So as we move through the period of time that we're going through, there's going to be a lot of challenges over the next 6 months. And I think that there's never going to be one thing in a chart. We can all look at a chart in many, many different ways. If we look at Uranus, the last time that would have been in the place of Taurus would have been 84 years ago. So that would have been in a world war, and there was a restructure of finances at that time. There was a breakdown of the structure of the values and needs, you know, changed quite dramatically. We wanted freedom. So in a way, that's a good placement for the future of humanity, but that doesn't make it easy. Uranus is also to do with past life trauma and imprints, and it's also to do with long-term memory. And Chiron is the wound. There's a weak conjunction going on here at the moment, but we're going to have this Mars is going to, when it reaches 28 degrees in the coming weeks, it's then going to go on the September, the second weeks, I think it's about the 9th of September, it's going to go all the way back to 15 degrees. And it will meet up with Chiron again, which is the wound. It's like having, you know, Mars on Chiron is like having a plaster ripped off a wound that's not healed. And so there's a lot of sensitivity around at the moment, but not everybody's going to question that. Some of us are more sensitive than others. Then if we go forward, let me just see here. I'm going to go by weeks. If we go forward to that's 1 week. And then we're going to go to the Uranus, so you can see that station there. So let's go by the day. now, and we got the 10th and we got 13th. So here's Uranus, watch here. It's just going forward. And then it stations. So it stations on the 15th, okay? It stations on the 15th of August. And then on the 16th of August, it goes retrograde. And that will go on for some months. So again, you know, this is all inward work, you know, our breaking free of limitations and frustrations. And that square, 24 degrees there, remember it's going to reach 28, go all the way back. And these squares are going to cause frustration as well. And we need to really understand how we're going to ground ourselves. So what I want you to do is look for your own chart. And if you can't do this on your own, you can book a session with me. I'm only $25 now up until the end of August for an hour, and we record it if you really want to dig deep. But it's better that you have your time of birth to do this properly. And if I come out of, let me just see here, if I stop share for a minute, and then I go back into sharing, and I go to, make sure I get this right, solar fire. So then I'm going to go to my, nope, stop share. Just bear with me for a minute whilst I do this. So I'm going to go to here, and then I'm going to go to my natal chart, okay? And I'm going to stop share again. I don't want to confuse you. I just want to make sure I'm showing you the right page. So let's see. So this is my chart, okay? And what we can see is that this is my natal chart. But if we bring this up to date, and in fact, I've got to do this properly for you. So I'm going to stop share again, and then I'm going to do something that I wanted to do, which was more to the point. I'm being a bit slow on this one today. Hang on a minute. So then I'm going to go dynamic. You can learn to use solar fire if you watch me going backwards and forwards here. So I'm going to emanate this wheel, go stop share, and go make sure I get the right page. Emanated page, that's it. So a lot of backwards and forwards there, but it's important I make sure I'm showing you the right thing. So what you can see on the inner wheel is my natal chart. And then on the outside, you can see where the planets are right at this moment in time for me. So if we know right now that the moon right now is in Sagittarius, so it's in my first house, the moon is in my first house, I'm Scorpio rising, you can see here. And then you can see that where Jupiter, Pluto and Saturn are for me at this point in my life, they're going through my second house, which is about my value system and how I feel about myself. And with in the first house with the moon there, it's like, you know, I'm showing my emotions, you know, I'm not at the moment, I'm okay and showing my emotions. That's what's going on. I've got on my IC, I've got Neptune transiting on my IC at the moment. That's going to be going on for a couple of years for me before it hits my Chiron, because Neptune takes 184 years to move around a chart. I've also got Mars, and I'm very grateful for this. It's moving through my fifth house of fun, joy, creativity. And so during this time, I'm considering getting a book material together. I'm looking at a website, and I'm doing slideshows, and I'm doing meetings. And also I'm thinking about doing some, you know, serious working out at this time, because I feel like my body needs it to be grounded. You know, I'm more than stretching type of stuff. I've got a lot of energy. So I need to really, you know, be doing things where I'm working off my energy. So wherever this is going to fall for you, that Mars, you really want to know where it is. So again, if you want help with that, or all you need to know, you need to look at 17 degrees of where 17 degrees of Aries is in your own chart. And that is the house that it's going to transit in. Then you want to know that it goes to 28 degrees, and then it's going to go back to 15 degrees, and then it will go forward again, and then it will leave the Aries in the first week of January 2021. So that's it. I'm going to leave it there today. I hope my jumping backwards and forwards didn't confuse you, but do book a session with me if you want, and you want to dig deeper and look at your soul journey and understand what your chart actually is reflecting to you. Okay, thanks for watching.